16, 32, and 64 gig with 3 pricing levels to match that: $199, $299, or $399 on contract. And so let's just lift the lid. There is the iPhone 5 resting in its tray, still wrapped in plastic. So let's just pull this up, set this aside for now, and we'll take a close look at that in just a minute. First up is the package contents. We have a little tab in here to lift up. You can see we have a little tray there. So on this envelope, we have designed by Apple in California. We can peel this open, and what you're not going to see here on the US version is a SIM card ejection tool. Those usually don't ship in the US, but they do ship with the international version. So we have some literature, Hello, which is basically a guide on how to use all the new features, particularly with iOS 6 on the new iPhone 5. We also have some basic info here, and of course we have very large Apple stickers. Now, also new with the iPhone 5 are the new EarPods. I've already done a review on these, so I'll post a link in the description below so you can take a look at that. I really like these headphones. Now, here we have our power adapter, or wall wart rather. So this is our USB power adapter. Looks unchanged. In fact, they still have that green spot here, just to let you know that this is not one of the recalled units. We also have our new lightning connector in this little wrapper here. So the lightning connector now has this very, very small 8-pin connector that's all digital, no more analog. Of course, if you want to use your existing 30-pin dock connector products, you're going to have to buy an adapter, which Apple does sell separately. And we have a slightly shrunken down USB connector.
It's so exact that your result of this approach is being completely redesigned. And for the first time ever, we've increased the size of the display. By making the screen taller but not wider, iPhone 5 is the thinnest, lightest iPhone we've ever built.
To achieve a design this thin, we had to look at making many of the components inside the design smaller. It's actually 18% thinner and 20% lighter than the previous.
The iPhone 5 wasn't just a phone. It was a masterclass in industrial design. Released in 2012, it perfected the slate aesthetic with a precision-milled aluminum unibody and diamond-cut chamfered edges. It was the first to jump to a 4-inch Retina display, giving us more room without sacrificing one-handed use. Even years later, its feather-light 112-gram weight and thin 7.6mm profile remain the gold standard for many. It's a timeless piece of tech that still feels premium today. Looking back at the iPhone 5, the most iconic thing about it is the display. It was the first time Apple broke away from the original 3.5-inch size, stretching it out to a 4-inch Retina display. At the time, Apple's logic was all about thumb reach. They made it taller, not wider, so you could still use it perfectly with one hand. Even by today's standards, the 326 ppi, pixels per inch, density keeps things surprisingly sharp. It's a 16:9 aspect ratio, which finally killed those black bars on videos back in the day. It might look tiny compared to a modern Pro Max, but there's something incredibly satisfying about a screen you can actually reach the top of without shifting your...
Back in 2012, the iPhone 5 didn't just get taller, it got a whole lot smarter. At its heart was the Apple A6, a chip that changed the game for mobile performance. This was Apple's first custom-designed silicon. We're talking about a dual-core Swift CPU running up to 1.3 gigahertz. It wasn't just about raw speed, it was about efficiency. Apple claimed it was twice as fast as the iPhone 4S in both processing and graphics, yet it was 22% smaller. For the gamers, it packed a triple-core PowerVR GPU, making 3D gaming smoother than ever on that new 4-inch Retina display. Plus, it was the first iPhone to jump to 1 GB of RAM, doubling the multitasking power of its predecessor. Even years later, the A6 stands as the foundation of Apple's Silicon era, a true classic in mobile engineering.
The iPhone 5 features a refined 8-megapixel iSight camera that remains a classic example of Apple's focus on simplicity and quality. It is equipped with a sophisticated 5-element lens and a wide f2.4 aperture, allowing for significantly improved low-light performance and sharper images compared to its predecessors. For video creators, it captures stunning 1080p HD video at 30 frames per second, supported by enhanced video stabilization to reduce shaky footage, and a unique feature that allows you to snap high-resolution still photos while simultaneously recording. The camera also introduced the popular panorama mode, enabling users to capture wide-angle scenes up to 28 megapixels with a single smooth motion. On the front, the 1.2 megapixel FaceTime HD camera supports 720p video, making it ideal for clear video calls and selfies. Even years after its release, the iPhone 5 camera is remembered for its sapphire crystal lens cover, which provides durable protection and maintains clarity for every shot.
When the iPhone 5 arrived, it didn't just change the screen size, it changed how we connect. Out went the massive 30-pin dock, and in came the 8-pin Lightning connector. At 80% smaller than its predecessor, this all-digital port was a design breakthrough, allowing the iPhone 5 to become the thinnest and lightest iPhone of its time. But the real magic was the reversible design. For the first time, you could plug in your cable with either side facing up.
The iPhone 5 battery is a bit of a mixed bag. While it's rated for 8 hours of LTE browsing, heavy users will definitely find themselves reaching for a charger by mid-afternoon. It's solid for light daily tasks, but if you're gaming or streaming, keep a lightning cable handy.